everybody. Today we're going to be talking about the Trackimo again because we got this little gadget, which is a battery pack and a waterproof case.
So did the Trackimo itself change or just the case and the battery?
So if we open, you'll see that the Trackimo, this little box right here, looks exactly the same as last time, except this time there is this enormous battery strapped onto it. It's almost like a monstrosity.
So last time we used it, the battery lasted how long?
The battery lasted about 3 to 5 days.
Okay.
And
now how long does it last?
Giant battery. So this is a 3500 milliamp hour.
Yeah. How long does it last?
It lasts a month.
Wow.
So this, I've tested it. I tested it for 3 months, right?
Yeah, and really you had like cold conditions too.
I had all sorts of cold conditions. So I did it through the middle of January. Mm-hmm. It lasted for the whole month. And then it lasted, basically it just lasts a month and you can just charge it up overnight.
So we used this when we went to our Scandinavian trip and you put it in your luggage and we actually used it in the airport. Let's see some footage of that now.
Right. So as you can see, we were able to actually track where the luggage was at all times. So it was really nice getting on the plane, opening my app, right? And just seeing that the dot was where I was. So the Trackimo was where I was, which meant that my luggage was on our plane.
Oh, so it worked even on the plane?
Right. So this, it first of all made me feel really good to know that my luggage was safe. But then, I mean, imagine if I lost the luggage. I would know where it was. So I could say, hey, you know, I am missing my luggage and I know that it's in Turkey. I could tell exactly where it is. I could tell them which baggage claim it was at. Right? I could literally, we were in Sweden and I could see exactly which baggage claim my luggage was at, which meant that I knew where my luggage was before they even told us where it was.
Right.
So,
which was a really useful thing.
Right.
Because you know how you don't know which carousel it's going to go to?
Right.
You knew.
I knew. So let's talk about a couple things about this. So first of all, there's the giant battery, right? And it's just comically large. The Trackimo clips into it, so you can actually unclip it if you want.
But can I just ask you, is this too big? Like, is it a problem? Because this is
that's a honking case.
That's kind of big.
So there's a couple different different couple ways you'd use this. The Trackimo itself is good for like on a person or on a pet, something where you're going to be able to charge it every night, and in the morning put it on your kid as they go to school, put it in their backpack, something like that. So for hikers, this case is great because it's waterproof. So in here you can see that there is a silicone seal, and so when this thing closes, it is waterproof.
So like bring it to the beach.
Right. Then the other thing about this is it's got this huge magnet on the back, and this thing is super strong.
Really?
Yeah. It can hold itself, like this is just a little, actually that's not magnetic. So this is like a little metal plate. That's also not magnetic. Okay, so we have my key ring here, which is magnetic, and you can just hold, it holds itself. So it is a strong magnet.
How heavy is this thing? Oh, okay, so it's like half a baseball.
There you go, folks. There's your unit of measure. And the app is really nice because the app will let you have as many Trackimos as you want. So let's say you own a fleet of construction vehicles or something like that, and you want to know, that they're going to the right place and everything. First of all, it has a history.
Oh.
So you can see exactly where it's been.
Then we used it in the car. I mean, so if you've got a car that you want to be able to make sure that, your teenager is going where they're supposed to be. Where were you last night?
Yeah. So in the app, you can actually draw a rectangle. Let's say it's your town. Let's say that it's, from here to school.
Oh.
And if it goes outside of it, you get an alert on your phone.
Oh, I remember that from the other video.
This also has a speed alert. So if you're going over 65 miles an hour, you can get an alert on your phone.
So again, like for your teenager or for your workers. Like.
Right. So overall, I mean, it's something that I didn't have in my arsenal of tools. And so the longer you have it, the more ideas you can have for like, I'll just put the Trackimo in it.
Now, when you were using this, you can choose the update time, right? You were pinging it with...
I was pinging it, that was at the fastest time. So this lasted for a month, pinging it every minute.
So that means that you get an update every minute.
And then
that's the fastest you can get is once a minute?
Once a minute, yes.
Okay, and what's the slowest you can...
Alright, so you can set an even longer ping rate, which will extend the life of the battery. So 1 month is like best case, worst case scenario, because you are pinging it all the time. It is constantly updated. You can do, I think, 5 minutes.
Oh, okay.
And you can, in fact, I think you can do half an hour, and stuff like that. So you can really
so you can ping it every hour.
Right. You can really extend the life of the battery. Obviously, you don't get quite as many updates, but if it's for something that, like, it only matters where it is when it's gone, you can really extend that time. And in the app, you can configure it to the minute. So if for some, if you don't need to know the history of it, you don't need to ping it that often.
Now, what if you go hiking in the woods?
Right. So it depends. It needs GSM service, cellular service.
Okay, so if you're going remote where there's no cell towers, don't rely on this.
Right. So I mean, for smaller hikes or for hikes where you're going to be, near people, but if you're going like to Yosemite and there's just like no cell service and
don't rely on
this. So there's 3 buttons on the face of this. You have an SOS button and then a button that's to the left of it and a button to the right of it. And the SOS button, as well as the other 2 buttons, will send an alert to your phone. And the cool thing is you can, if this is on somebody's person, and they are, they will press buttons, you can know what those different buttons mean. So the left button,
come pick me up.
Right. The left button might be like, come pick me up. The right button might be like, I got here safely, and SOS is emergency, which means that, this can communicate, this can kind of take the place of a cell phone, if you will.
So I just thought of a good use for it.
Yeah.
Like you got your 10-year-old you drop off at a birthday party.
Right.
You put this on their belt or in their bag.
Right. Or if they're walking to the birthday party, right? If they're, getting a ride from
that's
a friend.
Great, because there's that age for kids, right, where you want to let them have their own.
Right. If they're walking to school or something, and then, whenever you want, you hit the SOS button, and now you're alerted.
That's really cool. Hey, you should really go and check out our episode. We'll link it here, or maybe it's here, of our Trackimo first episode we did on before we got the big battery, and we tried to lose each other, and you'll have to see what happened. Yeah. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this episode on the Trackimo. I was pretty impressed with it.
Yeah, and if we don't really review too many things on this channel, but I'm pretty darn impressed with this thing. It does exactly what it says.
Yeah, no, you've been testing it for months.
And I've been putting it really through its paces, so I absolutely recommend you go over to Trackimo.com.
Yep, there's a special link below, which you can use to go to Trackimo and get your Trackimo, and we'll get a little bit of something here on the channel, so,
If you hadn't been thinking of this and you were all of a sudden like, oh, I actually do need this, go for it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for watching this episode. We hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to hit the subscribe and the like button, and we'll see you next time. Now you know.